Raw Deal Podcast, episode whatever, but it is June 28th. And we're here.
Too damn many at this point, right?
Exactly. Numbers. That's the running gag. So anyway, welcome everyone. We're talking wrestling. Big Brother's on in an hour, so we're officially changing our schedule to Wednesdays at 7 instead of Wednesdays at 8. Maybe that'll work better for some of you. Hopefully it doesn't work any worse for you guys. Usually there's more stuff on TV. If you're looking for something to watch, CBS, 8 o'clock. Watch it. Talk to us. We'll be on. We'll be live at 9 to talk about the episode. Well, so a Big Brother podcast. We'll have 2 podcasts every Wednesday, which is exciting. So anyway, Rick, how are the gains going, bro?
Great. Pretty sore. Still barely feel my legs.
Yeah, Rick was unintentionally planking all day the other day. So
he's doing the mullet.
He couldn't bend the legs. But so we were talking right before we got on the podcast about how Smackdown didn't really have a lot of stuff on it because the segments actually took some time. I'm personally a fan of that. I don't know. It's like you might as well take time and do everything right. Now, if you have a long segment that sucks, it can really backfire you with the strategy. But I thought that Smackdown was pretty solid. You know, we gave Raw some solid grades. Rick, you weren't on the Raw podcast. What'd you think of Raw this week?
I honestly picked up the winners and asked them what was going on.
Oh, dude, that's right. Yeah, Monday was your grind, bro.
Yeah,
Monday was your grind.
Work 9 to 6 p.m. then go to class at 8 p.m.
Dude, that's the grind. But we kicked off SmackDown. Well, actually, I will basically just host and go through because I was driving home yesterday. I got home as the Money in the Bank ladder match started. We had a rematch of Money in the Bank. Pretty much, I want to talk about how there was a lot of hype going into this week of SmackDown, right? So they said, all right, well, it's SmackDown starting to get going. You know, John Cena comes back in 2 weeks. We got the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. They're going to restart it. This Tuesday, we have Naomi defending her championship against Lana again. So it felt like a big week going into it, right?
It really did.
It's good. You know, they left everything on a bit of a cliffhanger last week, which was
They kind of had like a women's pay-per-view in a way. You know what I mean? Like on like a episode of SmackDown is what it felt like. You know, it felt as important as like Money in the Bank felt, you know?
Yeah, what a concept. The women like feel as important as the men for once.
More even.
Or, yeah, more on this specific. It's like usually they're just kind of on the back burner when we look at like, was it SmackDown or Raw last week? Raw, right? That the women kind of just got thrown on for 5 minutes.
3-minute segment, and that was it.
Yeah, it was rough. But, yeah, so we kicked off with Daniel Bryan coming out. Break it down for us, Garrett.
So we had Daniel Bryan come out, and he was like, I can't remember Charlie, do you remember what the point of him coming out was? I forget. He had a reason, but then like it drifted off into the whole
highlight the night and just
okay. He was hyping up the show. I couldn't remember exactly because he
the hype
drifted
man.
off.
He's that guy in the back of the rap songs that's going, yeah.
He drifted off into. And one thing I noticed, I don't know if he was, before I get into the substance of the promo, one thing I noticed is he's actually still in like really, really good shape. Like for a guy that doesn't wrestle anymore, you know, like. He you know, we saw what happened with a guy like Edge. You know, he let himself go for a little bit, and because he was like done with wrestling.
About coming back to wrestling.
Oh yeah, I saw that tweet. I don't know if that was real or not, but like, you know, like I feel like if he does, he's gonna end up paralyzed. That's what I always say.
Rick fell and he can't get up because his fucking legs are so sore. The guy's going on his back like a turtle. But yeah. What happened in this promo was Carmella and Ellsworth came out, and he kicked Ellsworth out of the building.
Oh yeah, okay.
Okay,
It drifted off into a rough step from Carmella, and then she came out. She cut like another like vicious promo. Like
That was good.
She's like really killing it these last couple of weeks on SmackDown. I'm glad that they're like centering these episodes around her too, especially.
James Ellsworth was already banned from ringside last week, right? Or he got announced that he was banned from ringside, right?
And he basically just called Brian's manhood into question, and then he threw him out. He's like, yeah, I'm not going to keep you away from ringside. I'm going to throw you out of the building.
What do you think the percentage is of people that get kicked out of the building and don't show back up?
Like 3 probably. Like there's probably that odd 3% that they just do it just so that they can write someone off of an episode.
They always end up coming back, which comes into play later on in the night. But I don't know. Every time Daniel Bryan is on WWE TV, it seems like a big deal, right, Charlie?
Dude, he's everything that you could want out of a general manager. Him and Kurt Angle are. I literally couldn't think of two better people to have as your general managers right now.
Undertaker. Neck breaker match.
What the hell with Undertaker? No, I don't think
who can break their neck first match at Mania.
Hold on. Jim Cornette on Raw and Vince Russo on SmackDown.
No, wait. I can already see this is gonna lead to a triple threat. They're gonna bring Edge back, and it's gonna be a triple threat of whose neck breaks first in the main event of WrestleMania.
Jesus. Something.
Yeah, that's rough, dude. That's rough. So we kicked off with Daniel Bryan coming out as the hype man, and we follow the hype man into the hype bros versus the Usos. And
about this match, what happened was 90% of it was in that commercial thing, and then literally 15 seconds after that came out, the Usos pinned him.
Wait, so pretty much like the match started and they said the Usos and Hype Bros coming up next, and then they did picture-in-picture, and then they came back from commercial and the match ended?
Yep. So they're trying to get that over, that picture-in-picture over.
It's making them a lot of money. You know it is.
Dude, and I don't know about you guys, I always miss the picture-in-picture because as soon as it cuts to commercial, I'm in the habit of just getting down on my phone and like going on Twitter or whatever.
Yeah.
And I just listen for the show to come back on, and then I'll randomly look up and be like, oh.
If you did that this match, you would have been like, what the hell happened?
Yeah, exactly.
That's actually what I did. I mean, I was watching the match, and I also didn't watch it live, so even though there's picture-in-picture, I still kind of fast-forward through it and like watch what happens in the match up in the corner. But like, I was like, oh, this is a pretty good match from what I can see. What?
You're like, well, it's over.
Well, it was a good match. And the Hype Bros are putting on good matches, man. I'm kind of sad at the result of this match because they lost. They didn't get their title shot, but I think they're going to be back in contention here soon because they can put up good enough matches. And I think Ryder's over enough, and the possibility of a heel turn is hot enough right now that they're gonna stick them in a program soon. Probably with the Usos after the New Day if the New Day don't win. You know.
Well, something that I did see was that Zack Ryder was wearing the big bulky knee brace, like. Something that could really do some damage if you were to accidentally hit someone, just nick them in the head, go for a knee or something. True. Do you think it's a situation where I'll throw this one to you, Rick. If you were wearing a knee brace in the ring, or if you had to wear a knee brace in order to get through it to feel comfortable, is it worth even going out and wrestling, or should you just sit it out?
To be honest, I've never worn a knee brace, so I don't exactly I've never had to wear something to make my body feel comfortable. But in all honesty, I guess it depends on the wrestler's perspective. If they feel comfortable wrestling with the other people, if they feel like they're competent enough to not hurt them with their injury, they should be okay. But if it's like someone newer and they're known for injuring people or they're a little bit rougher, I probably wouldn't then. But it depends on the skill of the opposite opposing people.
That's true. I guess as long as the opposing people don't mind it, I guess it's fine, right?
Yeah. Well, I guess I could see the issue with Ryder though, because a lot of his offense is like knees and kicks and stuff like that.
Well, what I heard is he did a dive over the top and caught one of the Usos in the top of the head with his knee brace, and that's gonna hurt.
Oh yeah, that little roll. Yeah, he did a rolling dive. It was supposed to look like Mojo jumped, pushed him over his head. And obviously, Mojo can't lift a 200-pound guy like Ryder.
Dude,
he can, but he can't.
That's like the force of me smacking you upside the head.
And he was running full speed, and then he flipped over the rope. You know what I mean? With the that little flip they do to the inside of the ring where they roll their hands over it and they get the momentum. Yeah, it was that. Where they did the little inverted dive, and it's really dangerous move anyway. It seems like because if you hit the apron,
Interesting. Maybe they'll go the way of when they eventually turn heels because they're the ones that jumped the Breezango. Maybe they'll do a Cowboy Bob Orton angle where Ryder keeps using his knee brace as a weapon.
Hell.
I really hope that's the way they're going with this. Zack Ryder's been the one just trashing the office and jumping Tyler Breeze. I think that would be really good. Because then you could have Mojo be like, what are we doing, bro? And he'd be like, we're bros still, right? And he's like, yeah. You know what I mean? And they just the instant
Raleigh's just happy to be there, man. Just happy to be there. Dude, yeah, Mojo could get over huge as a heel.
Mm-hmm.
Especially since people hate Gronkowski so much. Dude,
Make me choke on my drink.
It could be good.
That would be good. Dude, get some heat.
So we had a Fashion Files. Speaking
Oh my
of
gosh,
the
this looks
Fashion
so good.
Police,
Did you get to catch this clip?
I'll be honest, I haven't had a chance to watch it, but I heard it was great.
Oh my
So-
gosh.
So Charlie, go ahead.
Let's say.
What's the premise of it? I don't even
It was
remember.
It was the interrogation.
Yeah, they pulled out. I heard that they pulled out the stick figure picture and the Ascension. was like,
Oh, okay. So if you don't know, I'll break it down. I remember the whole thing.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Garrett.
Yeah, I remember. So they come in, and it's the Ascension sitting down at a table underneath one of those interrogation type lights.
Oh,
And you have Fandango come up, and he's like, I know what you're going to try and tell me, that it wasn't you, and you probably don't expect me to believe that, but I do. So he walks in, they give him nothing. He keeps asking him questions. He gives him nothing. So he's like, all right, I didn't want to have to do this. And Breeze comes over and he looks and he starts pulling out he pulls out like 3 water pistols, sits them on the table, and he takes another one out and taps the lamp with it so that it turns. It barely moves at all. And then he's like, when he goes to talk, he's like, hey guys, I need to ask you something. He walks away for a second and he's like, are you hungry? Because I have some snacks here. And he pulls out like a fruit tray and
So
some
it's not a good
cheese.
cop, bad cop. It's a good cop.
No, it's
good
just
cop.
yeah, it's just the most retarded thing ever. And so then the Ascension, they go through and they're asking him all these questions. And like, it wasn't us that attacked us. We just wanted a match on the card at the pay-per-view. And they're like, what? Really? It wasn't you? And they're like, I wonder who this could be. And they walk away and then they start wondering about who it could be.
The best part was Fandango put 2 tickets on the table.
Oh yeah.
Fucking the guy that sings 2 Tickets to Paradise.
Yeah,
The Ascension.
Eddie
Money. It was Eddie Money. It was Eddie Money tickets for the Ascension. Oh my gosh! I mean,
that's great.
Money's kind of rock, but not the kind of rock the Ascension would listen to. They're like, because which is Connor Victor's the big one, right?
Yeah.
Victor was like, we only listen to hardcore thrash metal. We can't do this, and so they pushed the tables back because they're offering him a deal to tell him who it was. And they're like, no way, Copper. And then
Hold on, the
Brizongo,
Ascension actually got to talk?
yeah, they got to talk. It was good. And they actually were funny. They were funny too. I mean, and they, as the Brizongo walks away, you just see the Ascension grabbing the tickets to the Eddie Money concert and just walking off.
Pretty good.
Okay. Some way that I know, Garrett, you're pretty familiar with TNA. So when Abyss was big, he was the big monster, and he used to come in and just kill everyone.
I used
to hate
Abyss.
But then what if they did an Abyss angle with the Ascension to where basically what they did was Abyss started getting sympathy and people started to be like, he was like the misunderstood big guy. And so like he was this monster, but he was super misunderstood and everyone was like, oh man, he's actually like a gentle giant. What if they do that with the Ascension?
They could do it.
That'd be pretty good.
Yeah, it'd be like Heavy Machinery, or like you can imagine an angle between like a gentle giant Ascension and Heavy Machinery debuting. That'd be a great program, you know. You'd have the big bad monster dudes that are just coming in, you know, messing people up as baby faces against, you know, maybe even a heel Ascension that's just, you know, they're like, but we're not that bad, guys, you know. Like I would totally buy that, and I'd buy into that.
Hey, I would too. So Randy Orton, I caught a little bit of this. Oh yeah, I watched it on YouTube. So Randy Orton comes out and basically says he's gonna hijack the show until he can kick Jinder's ass, and he demands another title rematch.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, he interrupted
And that if
Aiden English.
he get a match, oh yeah, that's right. He had a match with Aiden English and kicked his ass. Then he basically said, you know, I want Jinder, I want a title match. If I don't get a title match, I'm going to go kick his ass in the parking lot. If I can't kick his ass in the parking lot, I'm going to buy a ticket and come in and jump the rail and kick his ass. So that was pretty good, and that led Shane McMahon to come out and be like, dude, what are you doing? And basically, this is kind of good for people that have been watching wrestling for a while. Shane McMahon pulled the, you know, you're one to talk about beating up people's family members. You know, me, of all people, know how that feels because Shane McMahon was there when Randy Orton punted Vince McMahon in the head.
Yeah.
So it was a pretty good
Shane on this episode.
What?
I said it was good to see Shane on this episode where it felt like kind of like Brian was like the GM in charge, but you still have the commissioner in the background, still, you know, helping people out.
Agreed. He's kind of like the voice of reason, whereas Daniel Bryan kind of acts as the emotional, just kind of does what he wants kind of figure, which is good.
Which is like they're basically, if you take them two and put them together, they're what Kurt Angle does over on Raw every week, because there's no one backing Kurt Angle up at this point, to help him with that.
Could this lead potentially down the road to a reverse Stone Cold Angle, where Randy Orton is the bad guy and he's just beating the crap out of Shane McMahon? Because whenever you have an authority figure historically in the WWE, they're the bad guy, they're the heel, and then you have the babyface trying to take over the boss figure. Could they do a reverse way where like everyone wants Randy Orton to get what's coming to him, but he always gets the better of Shane McMahon?
That could be interesting.
Yeah, it would definitely be interesting for us hardcore fans. I don't know how much casual audience would be able to look. They'd be like, "Oh, okay, this is different." But people that have been watching for a long time, they'd be fresh,
That's true. So AJ, Kevin, and Daniel Bryan's segment.
Okay.
Well, what happened with this Randy Orton thing is you actually.
Sorry. Yeah, I totally forgot. So there was a big announcement. So Shane McMahon said, "You know what? I'll give you one more chance. But in order to make it even, I'm going to let Jinder Mahal pick the stipulation." And Jinder Mahal comes out and announces that he wants to have a callback to another great Indian performer, the Great Khali, and have the title match inside a Punjabi prison at the next pay-per-view. Rick, are you familiar with the Punjabi prison?
I actually am not.
You'll have to look up some videos.
Yeah.
Batista versus Great Khali. Go find that one.
I saw. No, I thought, because I didn't watch. What's funny is this week I didn't watch Raw, but last week I watched Raw, but not SmackDown, because my work schedule kind of fluctuated between the Monday and Tuesday. So I honestly, because I saw a picture, not this past Tuesday that just passed, but before that, I saw pictures at Punjabi, whatever the hell it's called, prison.
Yeah.
I saw pictures of it. I'm like, oh, so that's what they're doing with Jinder and now Randy. And all of a sudden they announced it this Tuesday. I'm like, wait, what happened? Did I miss something?
Yeah.
So pretty much, you know what a steel cage looks like, right? We just had the steel cage match. So they have a steel cage, and then they wrap it in bamboo. They put bamboo around the outsides, and then they have another like octagonal, basically like elimination chamber style structure.
Think a TNA steel cage, but like way wider and bigger.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's an octagon steel cage, and then once again wrapped in bamboo. So it's two things, and the inside steel cage has 4 doors, one on each side of the ring, to where you can exit, and that's like a regular steel cage height, and then it's like, I think it's 15 feet high for the inner one and 20 feet high for the outside one, and the outside one's
can only be called open once by one superstar, and then like they're open for like 30 seconds, and then if you don't get out, they close permanently. It's like a weird thing. That's like
I didn't know that.
You guys need to go back and watch the Batista Great Khali one, because let's just all agree.
It's known as one of the worst matches in WWE history. I refuse.
You got to, otherwise you won't understand what this match is going to be like. I really hope they change that stupid rule. They just leave the door. Just remove the doors. Just remove them. They just make it a climb out thing. You make 2 people like climb over a 15-foot and a 20-foot. Batista did it. He jumped from one to the other.
He did.
This really?
Yeah, he jumped off the back of it was one of the most dangerous spots I've ever seen. He was probably like 14 feet up the cage, and he was jumped to like 15 feet on the other side. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, and then climbed up and over, but it was cool. So that's what came out of this whole segment. I think it's kind of cool. I watched Talking Smack from last night, and basically Renee and Daniel Bryan both agreed that it was cool of Jinder, because they made a good point of, well, if Jinder really like wanted to just win easily, he could have made it like a blindfold match. They used that analogy. Make it a blindfold match, and then the Singh brothers could have came in, just beat up Randy Orton, and then he could have won easily. But he actually put it inside something dangerous to where Randy has just as good of a fight. So they really put Jinder over a lot, making me believe, why would Orton go over in this at all?
Why would Batista go over Great Khali in it? I don't know.
Well, because Khali isn't expected to climb the thing, even though he did, but...
He did, and he got down from it, too.
Yeah.
Big man. Best big man worker of all time.
Big man. All right. So, the next segment was AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, and Daniel Bryan all together. Rick, do you remember this?
Yes, actually.
Break it down.
Yeah, because... they got together, and at first they was talking about how AJ Styles wanted a match, was saying how it's unfair that he didn't get the match against Kevin Owens for the United States belt. And what happened was he's like, they're talking about an agreement to where they can actually make that whatever it's called, to where they can have the match, but instead they announced 4th of July, Independence Day something. I forgot what it's called.
Oh, yeah, aren't they
Battle
doing
Royal?
Battle Royal, right?
Not like a Battle Royal, but like an Independence Day style one. And
Right.
then AJ Styles is one of the fighters in it. And I'm going to have to guess they're going to put Cena in it too, because,
Probably. And
That's going to be his return.
I know
He's gonna
Chad
be-
Gable's in it as well.
yeah,
Really good.
I don't remember if there's
That's cool.
anybody else personally, but that's pretty much all that was all about, was just coming up with a match for Owens to be protecting his belt, which most likely he's still going to keep it.
So that's pretty cool. So once again, SmackDown's kind of like making us want to watch next week.
And we already seen it coming back, which is enough that they, you know.
Which is something we see Raw not doing. We've been saying for a couple of weeks. I know you mentioned it last week, Charlie, was that it seems like Raw is basically just made for YouTube. They just go segment by segment by segment. If they should have done something. They should have left some sort of cliffhanger going into the commercial after the LeVar Ball segment next week, so maybe the casual fan would stick around. But they didn't. SmackDown is like, hey, next week this is happening. Next week this is happening. That way they can set it up, and it's good.
Road Dogg, whatever. He's doing a fantastic job.
Yep. And I think a big point with Kevin Owens, go watch Talking Smack from last night. It really was like one of the best Talking Smacks ever, if not the best.
The best is still the first one with The Miz.
Yeah, I mean that individual thing. Like I'm saying, the entire episode, because they also did a thing where Daniel Bryan rapped with the Usos.
Did he do any
Oh,
good?
yeah, that's another thing for next week. The Usos and New Day have a rap battle.
Oh, that's gonna be so good. The promo they cut, we're gonna get to that. The promo they cut this week was just, you know.
Well, let's skip to it now.
Is that
Also,
the next segment? Is that the next segment that comes up?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh no, sorry, that was earlier in the night. Sorry, that was the the New Day promo. We never touched on it. Yeah, the New Day came out after the Usos Hype Bros match, and they cut this like vicious promo on each other, and like they were dropping bars left and right. I was like, this better lead to a rap battle. If this doesn't lead to a rap battle, you know, because I think on Up Up Down Down, don't they actually like they rap at each other all the time and stuff? I don't know. I don't watch the channel, but like from what I've seen of that stuff, Xavier Woods and them are all about they're all about the show in the New Day. That's why everyone loves them, because they put on a really good show wherever they go. And I think the Usos have always been like that too. They just never really had the character from the creative teams to do it, and now they have. You can tell they've been given a lot of creative control, because they're going out there and just cutting these vicious promos on each other. I mean,
And hey, man, we've got a black team against a black team, so let's have them rap against each other. That's creative's thought.
they're not black? Are Samoan people black?
Oh, that's true. Samoan, yeah, you know.
I guess they're going with that style of like dress.
Well, that's
and
true. I
tone.
mean, they've got the whole penitentiary thing going on, so that I don't know. I'm hoping it's not really the way they're going. I hope that New Day. I feel like New Day is going to come out and they're going to make a bunch of jokes, and then hopefully the Usos just roast them.
Yeah.
I think it'd be awesome, but that's a cool little angle. So, and they also announced that they're going to have their title match at a Battleground. Something to touch on, they've announced a lot of stuff for Battleground already.
They're gonna run these programs for the entire month leading up to it.
We're already a month. We're only a month away. Like we haven't even had Great Balls of Fire yet. That's this weekend. So, and we already have whoever wins the Battle Royal next week. We already know that Kevin Owens will be defending his championship. We already know Jinder and Randy Orton. We already know the tag match. And that's it, right? As far as fully announced.
Unless Lana gets another title shot, but yeah.
I don't know. Well, let's talk about that right now. So Lana and Naomi had a championship rematch. Naomi killed her.
Under 3 minutes.
Since Rusev is so close to coming back, do you think that they just don't want to ruin Lana? Like she's not as over as they thought she was going to be. Maybe they're more impressed with Carmella than they thought they were going to be. They thought they were going to need Lana more, and so they're just trying to pull her back and have her go back with Rusev.
Could be.
That's possible, you know, because I think what they're doing with having Carmella's Money in the Bank winner and then her going against the champ, I think what they're doing was to see who got over more, and that seeing that because they don't want to make Lana champion, try to push her into something, And if Carmella does really well with the Money in the Bank, holding that on, you can't really try to push two people at once. So rather than that, I think they're going to do Carmella first and maybe save Lana for later. And then push me.
There was a time when WWE used to there was no who are they pushing, who are they not pushing. It was literally just everyone was expected to get over, and they just went with it. And that's why TV was good, because everyone got over in their own way. But it seems like creative is, I don't know.
They think they know how people get over, and they don't always.
Yeah,
it's got to be organic.
This seemed like a way to just write Lana off, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, she walks out, attacks her ahead of time. So Lana at this point is so bad, she can't beat Naomi after she attacks her first and hits her finisher.
Yep. She got pinned all of a sudden. Naomi got into the offensive and beat her within probably 60 seconds of being offensive. The other 2 minutes are her attacking initially and getting knocked pinned quickly.
Yeah.
So it kind of made her look terrible and weak.
Yeah. Agreed. So
I have to ask something again. What is the difference between the split-legged moonsault that Naomi does and like the Starship Pain that we see?
There's an extra
Johnny
spin
Mundo do.
that Johnny Mundo does.
Oh, he does a spin. Okay, I was just curious.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he lands on his. Sorry, he lands facing away so we can get the pin. Okay, yeah, I forgot. Yeah,
Yeah.
because she always has to spin around.
Well, no, he does like a corkscrew.
Oh,
He does
does
a
he?
barrel roll. Yeah.
A barrel roll. All right, I'll have to look it up because I just
Yeah,
always that's what I always think when she hits her move.
Yeah, she just does a moonsault. She does split-legged moonsault. She goes straight back, whereas Morrison does a spin to the side as well.
Mm.
Okay, cool. Yeah, now that you say that, I'm picturing Morrison doing it, and yeah. But I always think back to his move whenever it's cool though, you know.
Oh yeah, very cool. And I mean,
You wouldn't have think
she's
a
the
woman-
most athletic.
10 years ago, you wouldn't have think of a woman even doing a top rope move, you know, like.
I mean, Lita was the only one that did it regularly.
Mm-hmm.
Lita just did a basic moonsault off the top, and it was nuts.
Because she did a really freaking stiff moonsault too.
She didn't bend her legs at all. She looked like Rick coming off the top rope after his leg day. All right, so Sami Zayn versus Baron Corbin for the illionth time.
Getting old to me. It was pretty obvious. They're not going to have Corbin lose after winning Money in the Bank.
Yeah, I mean, the good thing is though, if there's someone that you can get that can get beat like every week and not lose anything, it's Sami Zayn.
That poor guy, dude. They got to push him one of these times for one of the 2 belts.
I mean,
Dude, they're waiting. I'm telling you,
he beat Braun Strowman like 6 months ago or something.
Wait for the
it's
opportunity.
gonna come out of nowhere, bro. Sami Zayn's just gonna win the title randomly. Like, it's gonna be one of those things, just like Jinder, except people are gonna know he deserves it because he always puts on great matches
And always has to lose.
Mm-hmm.
Win a title.
I think it'd be really cool if they did a face versus face program with Sami Zayn and Ty Dillinger at like SummerSlam, and like they just put on like this crazy match and just made it so that neither of them could be denied
You
after
could
it.
have Kevin Owens drop him the belt and then make the U.S. title feud.
Could.
Because he doesn't need that belt going into SummerSlam. He could go, but he's already said he's going for that world title. I hope that's what it is. Like you know, I would buy Jinder versus Owens. I really would. I'd be interested. I'd be like, yeah, maybe. You know,
Possibly, yeah.
if Owens can pull a good match out of some of the people he's pulled a good match out of too. I mean, we always talk about how like Sami Zayn and AJ Styles pull these good matches out of people you wouldn't expect. I mean, AJ pulled a good match out of him. Wouldn't Owens be able to? You know?
Yeah, I agree. Anything about the Zayn Corbin match, Charlie, that you'd like to that really stuck out to you?
Zayn came out to interrupting Maria Kanellis and Mike Kanellis. That was kind of
That's right.
Why can't I wonder if his actual name is Mike Bennett, right? Why is he not able to be Mike Bennett?
I think he's supposed to be like the bitch boy of the marriage.
Yeah, exactly. He's the bitch boy.
She got the balls in the purse kind of thing.
Yeah, but like I want him to be the badass Mike Bennett that he is.
They might
Not,
say
dude.
that time. I mean, they got so many people that you still got to build up. I mean, I think they want to build her up in the women's division first and then do him alone.
It's obvious she's the star.
Oh, yeah.
We have enough
It's a
badass.
miracle.
That you know that if they tried to push Mike Bennett as his own entity, he would get so lost in the shuffle, it'd be ridiculous.
I mean, shit, Ty Dillinger has been on TV in 5 weeks.
Fact. He's always dark matched. And that was one of my favorites from NXT because I just started watching when he was big and Nakamura was champions when I started watching it. And that's
Was Luke Harper on SmackDown at all this week?
No.
No.
Ah,
Oh.
man, what a shame. What a shame, man.
Luke Harper versus Ty Dillinger in a pre-show match. I'll buy it.
Dude, put him in a triple threat with Sami Zayn. Let's just
Give him something to do at Battleground. I'm down.
exactly. Okay, so Nakamura had an interview. I didn't see it, but this kind of scares me. What do they mean by interview, Garrett?
Wait, what? What was it again?
Nakamura?
Oh
interview.
yeah, he talked.
Was it cringy?
Cringy's not the word. I mean,
It's different because he still doesn't have very good English, but he's still like he put on an okay promo.
yeah, he cut like a nice promo. He's like, I think a word. I'm trying to remember the wordage exactly he used. He's like Kevin Owens or not Kevin Owens. Who was it? Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin is scared of me because he knows what a man like me does. Or something like
we're
that.
going Nakamura Corbin at the pay-per-view, maybe?
Maybe.
Yeah, because he was talking about how he doesn't know his style and he's scared of him because he doesn't know what he's capable of.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So
a little bit of heel tendencies, but he's not going to go heel, of course.
if it's a stiff match, Nakamura might knock him out by accident. You know, them knees and those Golden Glove fists. You know, you never know.
I like it.
I'm
down for that fight.
Two actual former fighters? Hell yeah, dude.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, Corbin was a boxer and Nakamura was an MMA.
Well, I'm saying they both have the former background in combat sports. That's what I meant.
Okay, that's true. And then finally, we capped the night off with a very lengthy Money in the Bank ladder match. I think it went like half an hour. It was like pretty much the same length as they did on the pay-per-view. They started off the match. I don't know. I enjoyed this Money in the Bank ladder match more than the pay-per-view, which I thought.
I'll be honest with you, I did too.
Yeah, same.
I thought it was a better ending. I mean, the ending was cool on the first one, and they were just as aggressive too. Like I was saying previously when we got done with the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, I said how I was surprised how aggressive they had the women go, and they were aggressive in the matches, and I liked it.
Yeah, I think it's one of those cases where, like, with a match like that, with so many people in it and so much potential for these cool spots, I feel like after every Money in the Bank match, people go backstage and like, oh, man, how cool would it have been if we could have done that? Like, how cool would that have been? And they never actually get that option to go back and redo it. And they actually had that option now to go back and redo it.
Current situation, even though it's a non-disqualifying match, they still can easily say, okay, well, he did this. We can still go back, and they did it. And still had Carmella win, which I think was the best option possible to have her win again.
Oh, agreed. Carmella had to win, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, dude, Ellsworth took the bump of the century.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Ooh, I'm pretty sure that man's not having kids.
Yeah, no.
And it was Becky that gave it to him, which is good because Becky's she's the true baby face. Becky's the biggest pure baby face in the WWE right now.
Yeah.
Most likely, I have to agree.
Yeah,
I'm waiting for the day for her to like give her Bexplex to Ellsworth one of these times. She's gonna do it.
I think she's done some offense to him already.
Probably, like good offense, like dropping that man on his head.
Yeah.
They need like
Gotta happen. It's gotta happen.
They need like Authors of Pain to write Ellsworth off TV eventually when they're done with him. They need Authors of Pain to come in and kill him. They need to be the ones to kill him off.
Have Carmella cutting a promo and him just sitting at the outside of the ring or something, and then like because he's watching for somebody that's been like attacking her or something, and then just have the Authors of Pain debut, just run over, jump the barrier, and run over and just kill Ellsworth.
End him.
Dude, I've got a really cool idea for our next State of NXT video, which will probably drop either tomorrow or Friday. So keep an eye out for that. But so yeah, Carmella ends up winning this match clean. The three of us all said it was the right choice. Charlie, do you agree?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's the way they had to go, and the match was better than the pay-per-view. Well, I liked it better. Charlie, did you like it better than the pay-per-view match?
I'd say so. I thought I enjoyed it a lot.
Garrett?
Yeah, oh, completely.
I mean, that's what they needed to do. Just like I said last week, if they're going to redo it, it has to be better than the original one. I think if Carmella's smart, she'll come out and start flaunting herself as the first ever two-time Money in the Bank.
She's definitely going to do it. Because that was the only Talking Smack segment I ended up catching was her coming on, flaunting that Money in the Bank thing. It's perfect.
Yeah, she's good for the role. I mean,
Yep.
she could be just like Alexa Bliss was if she just runs with it. I think the women are in a better position because I don't think that it's creative cares less about the women, but I think that they don't know how to book them as well as they do the men because they haven't. I don't know. They need to just book the women like they would the men, but if they actually knew how to book. So like they're giving the women more creative freedom and they're running with it. So I think they're in a better position. I think Carmella's in a good spot. And I think Naomi isn't so over with the crowd that, you know, I think.
I mean, I still am of the mind that she's not really that over with the crowd to begin with. They still kind of are dead for her sometimes.
Yeah, it's really hit or miss.
That's why they're scrambling to put all these people in positions where they can switch it up if they need to. Carmella with the briefcase. Lana is now being flaunted as possible title contender. You always got Becky Lynch in the background, the first ever SmackDown Women's Champion. I mean, you know, like, I think,
yeah. This is why I think Naomi needs to not be the one that Carmella cashes in on. She should wait a while.
I agree.
She has to cash in on someone that's way more over than Naomi. She has to
Becky
cash
Lynch.
in on like Becky.
yeah, Becky.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I agree. If anything, she should come out to a couple of her matches every now and again and be like, and like kind of like taunt her, like she's gonna give it but doesn't, and then wait for one of the days when Becky or one of the faces gets the belt and the faces end up getting close to losing, so they barely beat the other person. She comes out and pins them immediately.
Especially if she gets the help of Ellsworth, because Becky hates Ellsworth more than anyone else. If they do like a handcuff angle or something, where Ellsworth ends up basically getting the win for Carmella as she cashes in, they could get some serious heat on Carmella.
I think that's what a big plus side of them doing that Money in the Bank thing. Especially with her winning again, that's going to piss people off more. So what happens is now she's actually getting booed every time. Before, it was quiet unless Ellsworth opened his mouth.
Yep.
That's the only time they ever got a reaction. And now she's actually getting booed, which is really good, especially for her.
What is Carmella's like actual finisher? Her not like her submission. Does she have like a move that she does?
You know, she hasn't really done any finishers.
What do you think?
She only faced like jobbers for a little bit with Ellsworth and beat them, and now she's kind of like just barely getting by, like how Alexa used to win, where she either ran away or just.
But Alexa always had the Twisted Bliss or the DDT. So like,
she wins.
Oh yeah, in NXT, Carmella's finisher was that Code of Silence, the submission with her legs, and she used to pull her leg back.
Yeah, that's right.
But like I'm saying like an actual like physical offense move. Has she ever had anything like that?
I don't think so. So it's cool.
They need to give her something, especially if she's got that briefcase, because she needs to be able to do that move to them. She can't. I mean, people have tapped for the belts on those cash-ins before, but it's always less dramatic. I feel like
something high flying, and maybe that's why it's taking her a while to debut it, because she's trying to perfect something that looks really nice.
Give her a tornado DDT, and I'll buy it. She's smaller, but she's gonna have more like whip on the neck because these taller people are coming down harder. You know, like I don't know. I just want something. I want her to be able to plant somebody into the mat and make everybody mad because they know it's over.
They haven't debuted one yet. They're probably gonna eventually. So
who knows? The debut of her finisher, of her powerful finisher, might be when she cashes in. She might pull something out where it's like, what the hell? Like when Lana landed that move, and we were like, whoa, that looks cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a package pile driver without the leaning of a forward. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. So grades for SmackDown overall. Let's start with Charlie.
I'm gonna say B+.
Solid. Garrett?
I'm gonna give it an A.
I'll give it a I don't know. I didn't get to see most of the show. I really only got to see the last match, so I won't even grade it. That's unfair to the show. Rick?
A-.
There you go. So who won this week? SmackDown?
Nah, I didn't watch Raw.
Raw won. Raw was so good.
I think we all gave at least a B+ or above or something.
Yeah, I gave Raw an A and SmackDown a B+. So
I think I gave it an A-.
I'd give SmackDown a higher rating, but they couldn't add him in, but they got to add Dillinger back in soon. Every week they always start off with someone holding up a sign. Have you seen this man? Come on.
Hey, we talked about it last week. They're afraid they're going to mess up Dillinger and Harper, so they're keeping them off TV.
Yeah, they probably might put some up for him.
They're booking scared, and that's terrible. So, but who knows? I mean, Road Dogg is the one booking. Like, I don't know.
He knows what's good and what works and what doesn't. I mean, he was part of DX. You know what I mean? Yeah, could be.
Yeah. But that'll do for this week's episode. In 15 minutes, Big Brother will debut, and then we'll be back at like just after 9 o'clock, and we'll talk to you peeps about what we thought about the first episode of Big Brother. Don't forget to like, subscribe, click that little bell icon. That way you know when we go live, because we got some podcasts going on all the time, especially now that Big Brother season is up. Share it with your friends, share it with your dog, share it with your friend's dog and your dog's friend. And we'll catch you guys next time.
Bye.